an episode about gambling addiction called The Fever, where the opening narration tells us Mr. and Mrs. Franklin Gibbs get a 3-day, 2-night, all expenses paid vacation at a Las Vegas hotel that Miss Gibbs won. Yeah, this is season 1, episode 17 of the Twilight Zone. And I love seeing the old school aesthetics of this Las Vegas casino. Franklin Gibbs gets addicted to gambling, whereas before this vacation, he was very much against gambling. In fact, he didn't even want to go on this vacation and spends a couple minutes of the episode complaining about it. But what this episode does that is smart, that other episodes don't do, is they get right to the point. They set the stage that he doesn't like being here, he doesn't want to be in Las Vegas, he's not interested in gambling, he thinks it's bad. And that only lasts for a couple minutes. Then we get right to him playing his first slot machine. They don't waste the first 10 minutes going over and over that he doesn't want to be here. And then we get a bit of a more supernatural twist at the end. This is a Twilight Zone episode after all, but it's definitely light on the science fiction fare. And so while we think his wife is going to get addicted to gambling since she starts playing the slot machines first, Franklin has never played the slots. So when he starts playing, he realizes how fun they are, and he actually wins $100, should be $1,000 in today's money, when he first gets on the slot machine, lining up those 3 cherries perfectly in a row. And if you go to Vegas, they do still have these old school slot machines, but this one gives out tokens. Now they give out those paper slips. It doesn't exactly feel the same. I'm terrible at poker and would never attempt to play it. I'm okay at blackjack, but I actually do like roulette. That's probably my favorite game if I had to choose one. Slot machines, on the other hand, unless I can get a really cheap one, I get bored after 10 minutes or so and want to move on. But I can see how people would get addicted to these things. After all, there's always a chance you could come out a winner. I mean, the odds are against you. It could happen. I just feel like something like roulette, there's a little more skill involved, and obviously poker would be the top. You learn how to play poker, which I don't know how to do. That's where the most amount of skill is involved, and you could really go into these casinos and clean them out. Well, actually, you're going to be a kid's very, very good poker player, so you probably won't do that, but maybe one day I'll learn that game when I retire. Damn, it's so complicated. I do have a good bluff face, though. And this one is really well done. Feels very real as he keeps hitting this machine, trying to recreate his first win. I also like how they had him win at the beginning, so you understand why he would become addicted to this thing. Feels just like he never won anything, he just kept getting addicted. It would be less plausible, but he's still chasing that first win he got when he got on the slot machine, and he stays at the same slot machine as well, which is the few times I've been to casinos, I notice people tend to do that. They went at the Buffalo machine and they want to stay there because they got their lucky socks on. They know those dots are going to connect again just the way they did an hour ago. We get 2 endings. So he eventually gets kicked out of the casino since he puts his last dollar in and the machine malfunctions. I'm not sure if this is the way slot machines were back in the day. This one seems a little too light, like he shakes the thing almost as if there's nothing in it or it's not even nailed down to the table or anything. So I think that's a little unrealistic. I mean, it looks like you can just pick up this slot machine and walk out. I'm pretty sure even back in the 60s, they figured out that they should make the machines heavy. Now, of course, it's impossible to pick up a slot machine. Good luck. You go over to one of the 12 feet tall ones and try to pick it up. Actually, don't do that. You'll get arrested. But maybe it's done for dramatic effect since you could really see him hit this machine, ring it, and hear the change jingling around. And after he gets kicked out of the casino for causing a ruckus, you see the slot machine follow him and using a very creepy voice where they go, "Franklin, Franklin." The slot machine comes lurching at him as if it's alive. Seems like this is an actual dream or a delusion he's having since it cuts to his wife and she says she doesn't see any slot machine. They're up in their room at this point, and we get a tragic ending for Franklin. But I'm glad they decided to throw in a bit of a science fiction twist at the end of this machine coming alive and coming to get him. I'm going to give The Fever a 7 out of 10. I like the old school aesthetics. This doesn't look like this was filmed in Las Vegas. This is their version of Las Vegas on a set somewhere, but it's nice seeing the machines, the old roulette tables, the old craps tables, another game I don't know that much about. I've played it, but I just play like the field, which I know you're not supposed to do, but that's all I know how to do. And even back then, the controversy of gambling, which has only gotten worse now, because now you can do online gambling. And I'm going to make a prediction that eventually they'll probably just legalize gambling everywhere. You can already do it online. So The Fever is a good episode. It's well done, it's well acted. The man who plays Franklin really has to go through a lot of different emotions during this episode. He's played by Everett Sloan. who was in a little-known movie called Citizen Kane in 1941. He played Mr. Bernstein. A movie that I saw in high school in a film studies class, and I remember thinking, it was okay, but maybe I should give it another chance. Maybe with my new adult sensibilities, I'll get more out of Citizen Kane. And I can see Everett Sloan again. This episode was directed by Robert Flory, who directed 3 Twilight Zone episodes. He did episode 9, Per Chance to Dream, and we'll see him again in season 5, episode 15, The Long Marrow, when I cover that episode in like 2 years probably. Funny amount of trivia. Certainly first got the Twilight Zone picked up. He spent a weekend in Las Vegas, and it seems like he got addicted to what he calls the merciless one-armed bandit, which he mentions in this episode. And we'll see this slot machine again in episodes A Nice Place to Visit and The Prime Mover. And for some reason, someone decided to call out Stephen King. This book did say macabre. Stephen King wrote that this episode stars William Shatner. Well, it doesn't. You got it wrong. Next up is the episode The Last Flight. And check out our playlist. We have all the episodes in order of the series that we're currently covering and the ones we already covered. We're currently doing Mystery Science Theater, 3000, Black Mirror, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Twilight Zone, and Cowboy Bebop. We already finished Monsters, Fear Itself, Pet Shop of Horrors, and Tales from the Dark Side. Thanks a lot.